And we are live. Welcome to another live stream, another random live stream. We are going to jump into keto versus carnivore diet. Which is better? Which diet is the superior weight loss diet? And not just when it comes to weight loss, but when it comes to overall health. Anyone who's been following me on my channel probably knows exactly what diet I'm going to say is the best. But we're going to go through both diets, the pros and the cons. Now, I am extremely tired. My insomnia has been bad lately, which is understandable considering everything I've been going through. But I'm going to show up because when you have a vision, you show up no matter what. You show up when you're tired. You show up when you're sad. You show up when you're happy. Just like with your weight loss goals. No matter what, you show up. You show up if you're tired. You show up if you're happy. You show up if you're sad. You show up. Showing up is what will get you success. Showing up and glowing up. That's what it's about. Just remember that. So, yeah, trust me, I'm really tired. I was waking up at 4 a.m. and then that turned to 1 a.m. But it's okay because I spent 10 months post accident waking up multiple times in the night because of my concussion. So my mindset when it comes to this is that I'm doing much better than where I was. I remember where I was a year ago. Where I was a year and a half ago was way worse than where I was now. I was not even able to work out. My concussion was so bad that I couldn't even do what I'm doing now. And look at me. Like I'm at the gym, I'm building muscle. Yeah, my shoulder woke me up last night, but it's okay. I taped it myself. Does it look good? Hi, Deanne. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. That's like two in a row. Two in a row. Yay. I actually wanted to do a video today, but I'm like, Tuesday is not really a good video day. Plus, I've been running around. I was at the gym this morning, then I had a bunch of appointments, and now I'm here and I came up with this topic, keto versus carnivore, because I feel like triggering some people today, because why not? Why not? But anyway. Which diet is better for weight loss? Now let's go into the description of this video as it talks about, again, I got AI to do it for me. The AI I'm using is pretty good, but it basically goes into, I think I just put my live stream on the TV. We don't want to do that, but I absolutely love, just mind you, make sure you hit the like button, guys, as that helps me out. Just helps get my videos out to other people. Now, I've done both diets on my weight loss journey. Briefly, the carnivore diet both times. I remember when I first started the keto diet or first tried to transition into keto, I went with carnivore because I was introduced to the whole keto thing and carnivore thing by Michaela Peterson because she was sharing a lot of the symptoms I had. She had a lot of chronic pain. She had rheumatoid arthritis. I didn't have that, but I was always in a lot of pain and I was like really, really depressed. And she like swore by this diet. So I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a chance. And we'll go into what happened after that. If you've been watching me, you know exactly what has happened. So I'm just going to read the description because it's so good, because it points out a major flaw. So in today's live stream, we'll be exploring the differences between keto and carnivore diets to determine which one is better for you or overall. Both diets have gained popularity in their potential health benefits, but they both have distinct differences in terms of food choices and nutrient intake. That's key, nutrient intake. Micronutrients are very, 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 very important. Not to say meat doesn't have any micronutrients, but micronutrients are important, and you get a lot of them from non-meat sources, aka the bad word, the P word, plants, which are so evil according to the carnivore people. The keto diet focuses on low carb, moderate protein, and a high fat intake, which can help with weight loss, improve energy levels, and mental clarity. On the other hand, the carnivore diet is a form of the keto diet, but it's a little bit more extreme in that you are not eating moderate protein and fat. It's a more extreme version of keto where you're only eating animal products and excluding all plant-based foods. You know what's interesting? Because there's a version of the carnivore diet. Can you really call it the carnivore diet when the carnivore diet is a diet that you're supposed to consume with animal products only? So why is there this carnivore diet flowing around where you can have avocado? If the diet was so good, why is it not sticking to the name of the diet? Keto, you follow the rules with keto. Like there's two versions of keto. There's the 80-20 keto, which is you're just bumping up the fat higher and you're reducing the protein lower. But or to moderate. Sorry, the protein's always moderate. It's just like you're making the fat higher. And obviously carbs, and you're manipulating the carbs a little lower. But it still applies to that rule where keto is a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet, obviously. 50 grams of carbs, net carbs or less. Carnivore diet, the very definition of the diet, it's called carnivore. Carnivores is a meat-only diet. So why is there a version of the carnivore diet where you can have avocado? That's not the carnivore diet. So if the carnivore diet was good, why is it not living up to its name? Why is it not living up to its bare definition? Why do you have to go ketovore? So let's talk about the benefits. Oh, hey, welcome to the live stream, AM1. Nice to see you here, man. Nice to see you. It's all about that lifestyle. It's all about that lifestyle. And that's what I want people to know. These diets, keto and fasting and all this stuff, these are diets to help you transition back into that lifestyle. Eventually, the goal of these diets is to get you eating a normal looking, healthy diet. A normal looking diet. I'm not talking about the standard American sugar-based crap, but a diet where you can have carbs and you can have maybe sweets here and there, but you want to eat it in a way that doesn't spike your blood sugar. But before you get there, you have to metabolically reset. And you got to use one of the metabolic tools, which I have talked about on my channel plenty of times before. You can use fasting. There are variations of fasting. OMAD is a great happy medium because you still get that. There's OMAD, depending on your working out and all of that. And then there's keto. And then there's like ADF and stuff. But these are all short-term tools to get you to a place where you can eat normally, because we want people to be able to enjoy the foods without getting out of control. That's why I love the glucose goddess, because she's like, I am not giving up my sugar. I love sugar. And she talks about, like, I was watching the interview with her and Dr. Minnie Pels, and she talks about how in Europe, in France, and in Italy, guess what they eat first? France, they eat something, it's in a French name, and they eat raw vegetables first. Why? We figured this out for years, like the whole apple cider vinegar thing and vinegar thing. The reason why people are doing this is because it helps to stabilize their blood sugar. Like, they didn't know that back then, I'm sure, but they felt it in the way their health was. But anyway, I digress. So let's jump into the entire which is better for weight loss. Now, I have some notes here, but I'm going to go through the top of my head. I'm just going to have them open just in case. Okay, pros and cons. So keto diet, you have more of a variety of food. Carnivore diet is extremely, extremely restricting. This is probably going to be biased because the facts are just based on my journey. My journey, no matter what, has always involved keto. Right now, I'm doing keto throughout the day. When I first started, I did keto throughout the day. Most recently, I did OMAD, keto OMAD, and I used OMAD as a tool to help me restrict my binge eating. And I use that fasting to help calm down everything in my system, calm down the crazy glucose spikes I was having, calm down the appetite, being hungry all the time, even when eating healthy foods. That's what I did. So with the keto diet, there is benefit to the gut microbiome. We are learning so much more about the gut microbiome. The gut microbiome is used for many things. I learned today that glucose is regulated by the liver. So glucose is regulated by the liver, and the liver is actually told by the gut microbiome how to do that. That's what Dr. Minnie Pels discovered in a paper that she was reading. And that's something I really need to figure out. I'm just going to read this one. You only need to fast properly to reset in most cases. I agree. You have no need to harm animals to devour them as you're a lion or some other creature that actually needs to do such barbaric things. You only need to, okay. First of all, I went to school for ecology. So there is a hierarchy level of the ecosystem. My dog eats meat. My dog doesn't eat vegetables. Cats eat meat. They don't eat vegetables. I am a strong believer in eating meat. Now, let me talk about keto, because people misconstrue when I say keto. With keto, you are eating animal products as well. I think it's important to have that fiber. Fiber is key, getting at least 30 grams of fiber. Now, I believe that we eat animals. End of story. It's just what it is. Humans eat animals. It's how we function for years and years and years. We are omnivores. Omnivores. Some people choose to be vegetarian, but the continent that we know where the majority of them are vegetarian, guess what? They're still eating animal products, and that's India. They have a lot of milk and cream based within their sauces. So I'm not going to get into a debate with that. I don't think it's barbaric to eat animals. I think it's sustainable to do it in a way. It's barbaric in the way we've been doing it with the factory farming way, but I think it's sustainable for us to eat animals. I am not going to remove animals from my diet. Now, there are ways that people eat animals less. People there you can do it that like people who are like pescatarian and they have fish here and there. I've done that, but I am not going to debate that. I'm a human. Humans eat animals. The evolution of the human brain was caused by us eating fish. The human Homo sapiens, let's go back to Homo sapiens. Right now, we are Homo sapiens sapiens. Homo sapiens were hunter and gatherers. Hunters and gatherers. Do you really think the human race would have survived in the savannah if we only had eaten vegetables? If we had not eaten animal-based products? No. We would not be where we are on an evolutionary level. We would be extinct, probably like the other Homo species out there, like Homo erectus and whatnot, but I'm sure they eat meat. So I'm not getting into that. Gina, have you looked at the Weston A. Price traditional diets? No, I have not looked at that. Apparently, something has to die for us to live. Might as well get the most nutrient dense and efficient resources. It's evolution. I'm not going to argue that. I agree. It's not like, the earth is flat. I'm not going to go into that. I want this to be talking about keto versus carnivore. And it's important for people to eat meat. Guess what? I went to school for environmental studies. I was vegetarian for a year. And I remember being in this community of people where it was so, let's say, cultish. And I remember my friend, who I absolutely adored, she was like, I really, really tried my best to go vegetarian, but she couldn't because she had naturally low iron levels. So she had to eat meat. It is what it is. But this live stream is not going to get derailed. Hey, Fire, welcome back to work for me. Have a good one. Oh, thanks for being here. I really, really, really appreciate you. Hopefully, I'll catch you at the replay, but you're the best. I really appreciate your support. I hope you have a good day at work, and I hope it treats you well. Sending you mad love. So let's go back to keto and carnivore. To properly do the keto diet, you should be having a minimum of 30 grams of fiber. And with the keto diet supports the gut microbiome. We are learning so much about the gut microbiome, how it plays a major role in our immune system, our health, and everything. I'm going to use Michaela Peterson as an example. This may not be fair because I know she's got a lot of illness going on. But I just looked at her Instagram story today, and she now has a flu. She gets sick pretty often, and she's been doing the carnivore diet. When I do keto, I rarely ever get sick. I never get sick. When I got sick back in November or October, I wasn't doing keto. I was doing the standard American diet, eating not well. Keto just helps you out in so many levels, again, because it's that key with the gut microbiome. A lot of people in the carnivore community say, oh, the gut microbiome is fine, or they're like, it's okay, it's whatever. But I don't think that's true, because with the carnivore diet, you can't spike your glucose levels. I believe, what was him, Sean Baker, when was his glucose levels? He had high blood sugar levels. And I'm not sure when his blood sugar was tested. But with the carnivore diet, another thing I want to talk about it, you can't really exercise on the carnivore diet. It's very difficult to. And if you do, you have to eat copious amounts of food. I don't want to be stuffing my face with a bunch of like fatty meats and stuff so I can be able to work out at the gym or whatnot. And every time I personally tried carnivore, this isn't true for everyone. Some people, it's fine, but this is my experience. I had no energy. My energy levels crashed. So with keto, that never happened to me. Now, I'm going to say something that's a bit controversial, but I truly believe in carbohydrates. Like Dr. Mindy Pell says, we got to teach people how to eat properly, to learn how to eat properly. And I love that her and the glucose goddess are coming together to formulate that, because glucose goddess, she wants to have her sugar and she wants to have her tasty foods, but it's a matter of not eating your carbs naked, as she says. Don't have those starches naked. Definitely don't have sugar naked. You want to mix the sugar with protein to help reduce the glucose spikes. This is the way that you kind of want to eat. And that's why I'm a big advocate now of macro counting, because it makes sure that you're able to like sandwich the food properly so you're not getting those spikes. The goal is to reduce those spikes. And keto is the best diet to do that. So based on my CGM data for me. Now, I'm not a scientist. I wish I was. I can do like, I wish I could have like a little group of people. Like obviously I have to go through the scientific ethic thing and all of that and see their blood sugar levels of how they eat on a keto diet. And then we introduce something. But I know based on me, keto diets always stabilize my blood sugar levels, especially when I do it in this way. Every time I would eat a keto diet, I always eat my vegetables. When keto started straying away from me, that's when I was not even consuming the vegetables. So vegetables are key. The fiber is key. Why? Because fiber is our gut microbiome's favorite food. We want to feed it because the gut microbiome is literally directing way more things than we thought. With carnivore, you don't get that. You're just getting meat. Now, there's that. Now I'm going to go into another point that I want to talk about. Yeah, I also said that you can't really exercise on the carnivore diet. Oh, carbs. That's another thing. I've noticed my workouts now. I'm going hard. Maybe I'm adjusting because this is the first week and a bit of keto. Am I as strong? I noticed like when I first did keto, I'm not as strong as I was when I was eating carbs, which makes sense. So there is a place for carbohydrates. However, I think when it comes to weight loss, for a lot of people, it's easier to make sure those carbohydrates are the lowest macronutrient, if not like keto style carbohydrate level. So what I mean, 50 grams or less, but I think it's essential. 100 grams too or less you can go with, but it's just easier to cut weight with that way, unless you're eating your food in a way that you're sandwiching and blanketing your carbs. Another thing about carnivore diet, like I said earlier on, way too restrictive, and it's not feasible. I think some people can do it for a long time. I get it. But I personally believe that carnivore diet should be a short-term tool. Again, there are people that can do it for long. There are people who have done it for years and they found success, but it's not the universal diet for everyone based on my experience. And again, I said you can work out on keto. Oh, another thing with the keto diet, there has been studies before science got ruined back in the 1940s and a little later where doctors put people on an 80-20 or like a high fat diet that was a keto diet, and they were reversing people's excess weight gain. So there's been studies with keto. Not only that, keto is a medical diet, and it was a diet that was originally developed for people with epilepsy because they found success with stabilizing people's epileptic events with the keto diet. So that tells me there's a little bit more history about the keto diet, and there is more research with the keto diet. I'm not sure how many carnivore diet scientific papers there are out there, but like keto was literally developed by the medical system when the medical system wasn't destroyed. Before the 1970s, before Ansel Keys came in and, used his ego to turn the nutrition science into what he thought was the culprit. He said he blamed fats for what sugar did. Yeah, that was like a whole situation. If you guys ever read the book, oh my God, what is it called? Something fat. The Big Fat Surprise, I think it's called. Is it called The Big Fat Surprise? The Big fat surprise. Oh, The Big Fat Surprise, um, by Nina Tolshez. That is a good book. I just saw something, The Big Fat Surprise developed. Don't be fooled by the big fat. It's a CBC article. Like, we can take credit from the CBC. Don't be fooled by the big fat surprise. It's still bad for you. It was 2015. Um, yeah, sure. Sure. No. That can be bad for you if you mix it with sugar, of course. But it's all about how you consume those fats. Anyway, I'm going to read these comments. Human evolved as primates, not lions. I said that. Homo sapiens sapiens. Don't debate me on evolutionary biology. It's one of my favorite subjects. And I remember watching that documentary with Dr. Alice Roberts, and I studied it in school. I studied genetic evolutionary biology. And yes, we evolved from primates. No kidding. I know that. Here's the reality. Primates, are suited for vegan foods. They can get by on other things in pinch and price, but they thrive on vegan. Primates thrive on vegan. Now, let me think of primates. Okay. I remember them feeding. Okay, a lot of them do eat vegetables, but you have to remember, they're not Homo sapiens. They are primates. When you're talking about Homo sapiens, it's a completely different genus of species. Yeah, we share 99% of our DNA with chimpanzees, but there's a difference here. We're talking about the Homo genus, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, Homo sapiens, what we are today. Homo sapiens sapiens did not live off of vegetables. They were hunters and gatherers. Our DNA today is evident of that. That's why we have all these mechanisms of being able to fast and prolong fast, because we went through periods of feast and famine, because the famine would happen when we would run out and hunt, and we would put ourselves into ketosis, which is another reason why the keto diet works, because hello, our body was kind of designed for that. Put ourselves in ketosis so we had the energy to run around and get that meal. And then there we go. So yeah, you actually want to feed your gut microbiome the right things, not the wrong things. Plants feed the right bacteria in your microbiome. I just said that. Plants, fiber. I literally just said that. Stuff your face with vegetables. You want 30 grams of, I'm talking about with keto, at least you want 30. If you're losing weight, it doesn't matter if you're doing keto or a regular diet, you definitely want to have at least 30 grams to 50 grams of fiber. And you want to get most of that fiber from plant sources. You can do the keto breads, which are the high fiber breads. That's fine. But you don't want to get it from things like protein bars and stuff. That's what I learned on my journey. You want to get it from plants. Guess what I had for breakfast today? I had a bunch of eggs with some heavy cream in it. Yes, heavy cream. And I had a whole thing of spinach. I believe in eating plants, but I also believe that we need protein in the form of animal protein. Animal protein is superior. Ask any bodybuilder, ask anyone who is, let's, for example, the people who, okay, you know what? Let's just use examples. People who live the longest. I believe it's an island in Japan. They live the longest. Guess what they eat a lot of? They ain't eating only plants, I'll tell you that. They're not eating vegan. They're eating a lot of fish. Fish. Not everyone likes fish, and that's fine. But they eat a lot of fish. Let's look at another place where there's a lot of centennials. Italy. Oh, Italy. What a beautiful country. That's a perfect example. Because in Italy, they not only eat seafood, they eat tons of pork. They have their prosciutto, which I love. I love prosciutto. They've got pork, prosciutto. They've got beef. They've got lamb. Do they eat lamb? Maybe. But usually Italians, it's usually beef, lamb, fish. Those are the main ones I can think of, unless I'm missing anything. And they live for a long time. I honestly don't see people who are vegan living for a long time. Vegetarian in India, yes, because they use a lot of animal-based products in their bases, and I love Indian food, because plus Indians, they use the spices, which are very beneficial as well. The spices, they got the cream bases, There are certain parts of India that do eat meat. I believe it's people. India is such a diverse continent. There's so much going on. There's so many cultures and languages and whatnot. India used to be like one whole thing. I believe Bangladesh was involved in Pakistan, and then colonialism happened. I'm not going to get into that, but it split everything up. But Pakistanis, I believe, they eat a lot of meat, like in the north. Then the north people in northern India, they eat meat, and then it's mainly like the central of the continent. They eat vegetarian, but they eat animal products, and a lot of them live for a very long time. So there's that. I'm not going to debate that. Lots of research on keto. Much of it shows known adverse effects. Like what? Because I've been on keto for a long time. So if you don't have epilepsy, you should avoid it. I don't think so. I don't think so. It is especially long-term. Keto is for your body's emergency backup system. I literally said this in the beginning of the live stream. You use these diets to correct yourself in order to get back to a normal-looking diet that includes meat. I'm not taking away the meat. Keto is just a diet you use for cutting, aka losing weight. Some people need to stay in ketosis because they have been messed up by the toxicity of the food that we've been eating due to the toxins in the environment. Some people have to do it for a while, and that's that. But for the majority of people, I believe in metabolic flexibility. I've said that several times on my channel. I'm doing keto short form. I don't do keto forever. I was literally eating carbs like 2 weeks ago. I do keto as a state of healing, but I think it's important to incorporate carbohydrates. But for people who are losing weight, it's important for them to regulate everything. Keto is a healing diet. Someone who's, like you said, someone with epilepsy, obviously they're going to have to stay on a keto diet if it's helping them. Some people have to stay on it for mental health conditions because their mental health gets acted up when they're out of keto. But I believe in metabolic flexibility. I believe in all diets for short term. Maybe like I was talking to someone about this at the gym the other day, but the chat's moving way too quickly for me. I'm just going to pause it there. That they were saying the best diet is the Mediterranean diet. And I don't know if it's the best diet, but I think it is a really good diet because it does have its sources. And another thing about the keto diet, this is the keto diet for me. You should be eating nuts. So Mediterranean, you eat nuts. You can't eat legumes on keto, but you should be eating nuts. You should be eating seeds. You should be eating tons of leafy greens. You should be eating any vegetable that's low carb. So things like parsnips, rodaceae, which is that red thing, which is really good for liver. You can eat that angel hair pasta. I think that's made out of, what is that made out of? It's like that low calorie pasta that's like 10 calories for like a whole bunch. You can eat stuff like that. Like, to me, keto isn't just eating meat. It's important to incorporate vegetables on a keto diet. I believe that's the best way to do it. Now, one diet I will never support is veganism for a long time. That's not vegetarianism. Yeah, if you do it right. Like I said, subcontinent of India, or continent, subcontinent. What else is a subcontinent? Apparently Iceland is a continent. Anyway, going on to geography here. But Australia is a continent. Why do they call it that? Oh yeah, because India is growing, because the Himalayas, like the highest mountains in the world is where I'm talking geology right now. Let me be my weird self. The highest mountain range in the world is the Himalayas. And the Himalayas, where the Himalayas are, basically the crust is growing. So yeah, it makes sense why they call India the subcontinent. You're getting young crust. Whereas here on the Atlantic side, like the mid-Atlantic ridge, that's old. Like the Rocky Mountains here in Alberta, just around the corner somewhere down there, they're really old. Anyway, just a tidbit. The younger the mountain, the taller it is. I don't know where I'm going with that. Wait, is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge growing? I don't know. That's the largest mountain chain in the world. It's not the Himalaya. It's the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. But anyway, I don't believe in a vegan diet. Sorry. I'm never going to do vegan. I would not do it. I think we need animal products. I'll never support a vegan diet. Vegetarian, I can. Pescatarian, I can. You eating some fish or you eat meat here and there. That makes sense because, again, we're hunter and gatherers, and there may be some time where we couldn't get the meat because the meat was, I don't know, there was a famine or something, and all the meat that we're trying to kill and hunt is run away. But I don't think it is immoral to kill animals. for food. I don't think it is immoral to do that. I don't think it is immoral at all to do that because we're omnivores. I'm not going to tip my stance in that. That's for sure. Um, so far, I'm able to train hard even with super low carb. Yeah, I think I'm at the point I'm transitioning back to it because I was doing keto OMAD, which is even harder with training but I'm not I'm training harder now. I'm doing different training. Back then I was just doing cardio and light exercise. Now I'm actually building muscle. Um, I think this is a transition period because today at the gym, I was on the assault bike for a round of Tabata. I did 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 rounds. So that was about 4 minutes on the assault bike. And I did pretty good in strength. Oh, yeah, my PT kind of pushed me hard today. So I think I'm getting adapted to it. But I think I get more oomph with the carbs for sure, but I want to just cut on keto for now because I want to keep my inflammation at bay, which is why I went into ketosis. I explained that to you with all of my injuries. It's important for me to stabilize the blood sugar, which stabilizes the inflammation and all that. But I just do better on the carb, you know. But again, I believe in metabolic flexibility. I'll be going in and out of that. That's for sure. Oh, okay. I already read that one. Ketosis means your body is producing ketones. And yes, the process of producing ketones is the process of fat burning. It is a process that is triggered by the liver. The liver is triggering it, and it's telling our cells, or I'm probably messing up the cell biology right now. Cell biology was hard in university. Yeah, I went to university. It was a waste of life and money. I'll tell you that because I didn't get any job out of it. I went to university and college. Maybe I can do this on YouTube. I like what Dr. Mike Israelstow said because he has a PhD and he was like in exercise science, and he's like, I don't care if you have a PhD or not, as long as you get it right, you know, and you can be on YouTube talking about it. So I want to make sure I get things right. But yeah, ketones mean literally fat burning. And not only that, you're in a state of healing, you're crushing your appetite, and yeah, you're healing your body. Ketones go to where, you know, the brain kind of, does it prefer ketones? Can't say it prefers ketones. Is it, wait, what does the brain likes fat? That's why fish, that's why the human evolution, if you know any human evolutionary story, which is what I wanted to talk about, it was the fish that helped our brains grow. It was the fish. It was killing an animal and eating it. Sorry. I'm really tired, so I don't even know how I'm doing this. So this live stream should be fun. Yeah, but it gets specific. There's a genus and a species. A genus. Okay, let's get it here. Did you study evolutionary biology? Do you know how it works? Did you study, what do you call that? What is it called? The categorization of species. Okay, okay, let's say chimp. What is their Latin thing? Species. What is their species name? Okay. Is it called, it's not called genealogy. What is their name? Threaten, Animalia. Okay, scientific classification. There's domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, suborder, in order, family, suborder, tribe, genus, species. Genus, species, pan. They are part of the genus pan. They are not homos. Pan. That is what a chimpanzee is. They're a pan. Pan, okay? A bonobo. We are not bonobos. We are Homo sapiens, okay? That is genius. There's difference between that. There's different. It's the classification of species. So we're primates. Yes, that's the higher order. But when you go to species, you go down to the lower order. That gets the specifics, the genus and the species. So family is hominid. That's part of the human family. Yes. Order is primates. Order is way up here. If I could just show this, if my phone is showing it properly, I don't even think I can. But that's the classification of species. To get things specific, it goes down. They are not even close to us. They're in a different, they're in a completely different subfamily. No, they're in a different genus. So no, it doesn't matter. That's not how it works. You know, it's not how it works. You got to study science more, okay? Study science. yeah, they're classified as primates, but that's the order. We're looking at the genus and the species. It's a big difference. I'm not gonna like the clue zones where people live the longest or the highest quality of life have a couple of things in common. One of them, they eat less meat than other groups, but they still eat meat. They still eat meat. They still eat meat. That's the key. I feel like in Japan they eat a lot of fish. Philippines, that area, they eat a lot of fish. They eat less, maybe land meat, yes, but they still eat a lot of fish. Can't deny the power of fish and omega 3s and 6s. They eat less meat than other groups, and some of them being fully vegan. No, I don't think the Centennials are fully vegan. I don't. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to be wrong, but I don't think they are fully vegan. That's for sure. No way. Animals or plants, something is dying. Thank you for just shutting this debate down just like that. And we are going to get to the topic at hand. Amen. Thank you for that. Something is dying. Plants are like, yeah, let's talk about this. It's like protect the animals. It's inhumane. Isn't it inhumane to hurt plants? Plants live longer than animals. Trees, like the California redwoods, they live for hundreds of years. They're alive. Plants move. They orient themselves to the sun. Either way, something's being killed. So that's just the hierarchy of life, okay? Whether it be animals or plants or both, it is what it is. And in fact, when it comes to the environment, a vegan diet is the worst thing for the environment. It truly is. It is horrible. Do you know what those monocultures do to the soil? Do you know what those monocultures do to and plus all your little vegan foods, you got to get it from like Borneo and stuff, and the forest is getting deforested because of that. You're getting you can get it here in like America, well, you know what I mean, North America and stuff. But a lot of these like soybeans and all this stuff, the environmental footprints for all this crap, you got to fly it over. You don't grow tofu here, do you? I don't think so. But yeah, a lot of these vegan products have like palm oil, this oil, that oil. So yeah, thanks for killing that debate. So I'm just not going to talk about that. Thank you. And that's vegan foods. That is vegan foods for sure. I did vegetarianism for like a good year because I was brainwashed by the cult when I went to university. I was in the environmental and ESR, it was called Environment and Resource Studies, but I studied biology. I had a double major in biology. And I remember going vegetarian, and I remember eating all of this like fake vegetarian meat, and it felt chemically, and it just didn't taste good. And I did it for a year because I thought I was protecting the environment, because they talked about how cow uses a lot of water and all that. But now we're learning, it's all about, things are changing. I'm not going to get into that stuff, but yeah, thank you. Most people are fake eating foods. Like if we were surviving off of it, then it should be things you can pick out of the ground. You should be able to live off these things. Like you have Freely the Banana Girl. I don't even know if she's still on YouTube. Or there's another version of her on YouTube eating a bunch of bananas and plants and raw vegan foods. Like, don't get me wrong. You can use these tools. You can use, it's okay to go on a raw vegan fast for like a week or two or something. That's fine to help process crap out of you. But I don't think it should be a permanent diet. Anyway, enough about that. I want to get back into the carnivore and keto thing. But obviously, we all know keto is superior to carnivore. People may disagree. People have success with carnivore. I'm not taking away your success from the carnivore diet at all. But as someone who loves to exercise, I value keto. Keto just makes me feel better. My gut health, I'm never sick on it. I'm never bored with foods. I can make, there's knockoff foods I can make with almond flours. I can have like stevia on it. Like, I guess you can't have stevia on the other diet because stevia comes from a plant, but I have stevia in a way where I, don't have it naked. Don't naked your carbs because stevia will still spike your blood sugar. But the take-home message away from my channel is that I'm not a diet zealot. I believe in metabolic flexibility. I believe when it comes to weight loss, low carb is just easier to go. If you know what you're doing and you know how to pick the right foods. I need to start focusing more on videos, on food videos. I want to do more food lists, keto grocery shopping lists, so people understand what foods they should be looking for and selecting for. So I do believe in going in and out of ketosis, but for weight loss, for me, the way I found success with weight loss, the majority of the time is when I can, like the rare one time, like that one when I regained some of the weight and I went back down. When I went from 220 to 260. That was like a couple years ago. I basically did like a high protein diet. I guess it was lower carb. It was like a low carb, high protein diet. I was counting my calories. Took longer, but it got it done. But I think it's no brainer. It's easier to lose weight when you cut carbs. It's just easier because of all the benefits you get from it. Anyone who's struggling with obesity should be a person that utilizes keto at some point of their journey. I don't like carnivore. I think it's too restrictive personally. And the key to all of this is that you want to teach people how to properly eat. If you don't want to do a keto diet, that's fine. There are other options that you can do. I always obviously I throw in OMAD, throwing some fasts. As long as you're able to control yourself in your eating window, you are key. So weight loss is about being in a calorie deficit, right? And it's very difficult for a lot of people to just be in a calorie deficit and lose weight. And there's a reason behind that. And I've talked about it I talk about it a lot because I'm really researching stuff on glucose. And it has to do with the destabilized glucose spikes that's going on. So it makes it really hard to stay in a calorie deficit when you eat like a 400 calorie meal and you're still hungry and want to eat a house. So the reason why we go into these metabolic diets, whatever it may be, is to help stabilize that blood sugar. I even proved it with my situation when my blood sugar dipped and went up, I got hungry. So that's the key to all this. We are learning it. And the goal is for everyone to get to a normal looking diet. I want people to be able to eat carbs and not be afraid. I want people to be able to, maybe once in a while have that like maybe homemade sweet thing or whatnot and not get out of control. That's the key. Right now, we're using these diets to help stabilize ourselves, to help repair ourselves, because there's been so much damage with the food we eat. What did I learn today? I learned something about obesogens today from Dr. Mindy Pels. So obesogens actually go into the bone marrow which is where stem cells are produced. And they actually hijack our system. Like, I love what Jessie said. Jessie said, she's like, it's not anyone's fault that they're old, because a lot of people, like Greg just said, well, just put the fork down, blah, blah, blah. It's not that simple. When you try to do that, when you try to eat a normal meal and you go into a calorie deficit, but your body's like friggin' physiologically hijacked and you're like, I need to eat. Trust me, I've been there. I was almost 300 pounds. And I love that those two girls said it. It's not their fault that they didn't know that their body was hijacked. But there's so much information out there. Where people can learn and understand. And I hope to help people understand this. But going back to the whole bone marrow thing, that basically she saw a study that said obesogens hijack the stem cells, and instead of them producing bone, I believe it was, they're producing fat cells instead. Like, that is mind blowing. Clearly something happened, and we are learning how to reverse this wholeheartedly. And I'm very thankful for people like Dr. Mindy Pels and so forth. But anyway, I'm going to read. Wow, I've been talking for 43 minutes. I'm starting to get a headache, so that means I need to sleep. Animals or plants, something. Yeah, you said that. Oh yeah, that is from oh my God, the psychologist from Harvard. What's his name? I have him on Instagram. Yeah, I know. I learned about that because I think he went through a journey himself with his mental health and his high cholesterol too. And he was, he wasn't overweight or anything, but he was having high cholesterol. Is it Robert? No, not Robert Lustig. What is his name? I forgot his name. Dr. Chris Palmer. Harvard psychologist working at the interface of metabolism and mental health. Author of Brain Energy, now available out. Yes, they're using it for schizophrenia. I know schizophrenia is something that has plagued people. I know people who have family members that struggle with it. And it's crazy how some people because there's a cocktail of garbage out there, right? Like, some people react in gaining weight or binge eating or mental health in a schizophrenia way. Because we're also genetically unique. people, and not only that, certain genes get expressed. Like I'm sure, like maybe two identical twins, for example, they may not end up looking like. For example, my doctor, she's a triplet, and like they're completely all different looking. They're identical triplets. So it's how these genes get expressed, and a lot has to do with the toxicity in our food, in our environment, clothing, and everything that's making this happen. But yeah, it's just such a complex thing. It's so interesting to learn about. Like I'm really passionate about learning this stuff because I feel like my mission in life is to help people reverse obesity naturally and not use any um, you know, weight loss drugs. I'm not gonna, like, they were talking about Ozempic today, Dr. Mindy Pels and whatnot. Like, it can be used as a tool to help kickstart you, yes, because Ozempic basically hacks, I forget what it's called, but it hacks something. It's called GP1, I think I might be wrong. What does Ozempic hack? But it's basically the hormone that tells us we're full. So Ozempic hacks that and tells our body we're full, and then people aren't really hungry. I think that's what it's called, Ozempic. What's that hormone? I just briefly heard it today. Oh, yeah, GLP-1. GLP-1. So that's a hormone that tells us that we're full. So that's how people lose weight on it. Like, it can be used as a tool, kind of like weight loss surgery. However, at the end of the day, you need to learn the habits, because when you stop using it, because there's a lot of side effects coming out with it, I believe, you have to learn how to eat properly. Peptide 1, it's a peptide hormone. Yeah, it's a hormone. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. I'm not going to talk about the plant thing. They are. So is edamame. I had some of that pasta too today. I've been using that because I like the plants, those kind of pastas, because they're high in fiber. I love it. Because again, I'm not saying only eat meat or only eat vegetables and fruits. No, those are stupid. Unless you're an extreme case like Michaela Peterson for the meat side. I don't know if has there been any evidence of veganism helping anyone with any illness long term? I really need to know that. But anyway, yeah, I love those plants because they're so high in fiber, and that fiber is so crucial, again, to the gut microbiome. So I'm just learning so much about the gut microbiome. I've heard of experiments that show plants being able to remember and react to specific people. Plants are smart. They are. They're not like animals, but they are smart. Like, the process of photosynthesis is such a cool process. They literally turn light into sugar. Like, how cool is that? It's like, why are we discriminating against plants but not animals, huh? Why do we kill plants? Why don't we protect the plants? Plants are so important, to our ecosystem and everything. But at the end of the day, this argument is baseless. I'm not going to go into it. Science backs me up for sure. Obviously, we're supposed to eat both in availability. It's all very silly. I agree. That's why I said I believe in metabolic flexibility. I really do. I believe there's a purpose for, maybe someone doing carnivore for a bit. And there's a purpose for maybe someone doing vegan for a bit. But you got to go back to eating a normal looking diet, So I believe in both. So yeah. Hey, Sarai, welcome to the live stream. Yes, twice in a row. I was gonna film a video, but I am so exhausted. And Tuesday is a good day to do a live stream. But yeah, I've been dealing with insomnia and stuff, probably from all of the stress I've been dealing with. But like, my attitude is very strong through this all. Like, I'm just so positive with everything because I have to be. Listen, I spent years throwing a pity party. I spent years being depressed. You know where that got me? Being 25 years old, 300 pounds, in a lot of pain, and hating life. And I knew that wasn't me. So that's why I fight. Because I fight for that girl that was in the hospital in 2017. And I fight for her because I went to the hospital and I told myself that I will never, ever, ever give up on myself. I got to remember that. I gotta remember that. And I didn't. I haven't given up on myself. And I want that resilient spirit I have to rub off on other people. No matter how hard it gets, like there is always hope, you know? It sucks, it's hard, but you have it in you. You are stronger than you think. That's oh, hi, Nigel. That's my message. Hi, Nigel. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Yes, Miss Joy. I should be called that. That is my middle name. Maybe I'll just change my name to Joy because that's what I need to be. Joyful. That's who I am. Joy. I laugh. I'm just a free going person. I let other people get to me and I put on this front to protect myself. But I just want to be free and joyful and dance and live life. That makes sense. I'm kind of glad my mom gave me that middle name. Carnivore didn't agree with you, right? No. No, it didn't. And I was just talking about the benefits. So I'll just talk about it briefly again. I think keto is more of a benefit to carnivore because, again, keto supports the gut microbiome. Keto gives you more energy. You're not forced to having to eat so much fat to get energy like you have to do with the carnivore diet. You can eat little calories on keto and still move forward. Our body has a system designed to be in ketosis. Carnivore diet is more energy expensive because you are eating a lot of fats and a lot of protein. And with the carnivore diet, you get a lot of gluconeogenesis. That is a metabolically taxing process. So for some people like me, I don't agree with it. I need my vegetables. Yeah, I just don't agree with it. Hey Cheyenne, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, there was a debate about veganism and stuff. The last live stream was a debate about height. Okay, listen, let me retract some things about the whole height thing and men. Okay. I'm just laughing. I'm just gonna retract some things about that. Again, it's a preference, but it's not a deal breaker because I just realized my gym crush is literally my height or a little bit above my height. And to me, it's just as long as you're not skinny, okay, and like 4 inches shorter than me. That's the thing. That's all I got to say about the height thing. People keep asking my height. People think I'm like, why would I lie about my height? I don't understand that. There's no reason for a woman to lie about her height. I literally gave you the centimeters. It's on my profile. Sorry, I'm ranting about other things. Why do I have to lie about it? There's no need to lie about it. There's reasons for men to lie about it, and men do lie about their heights. But yeah, no, I don't really care about the thing. I don't really care. As long as they're jacked and worked out. That's my preference. Just work out and be jacked. And other things that I will not talk about here on the live stream because it's very inappropriate. And my mind is going right in the gutter. Okay, we're gonna stop there. Size matters. Anyway, next. Brain's primary fuel source is glucose. It is, but it likes it is. There is a debate with that. I'm just trying to figure out what that debate is. But the brain also likes ketones as well. Ugh. It is, but too much glucose. You know what happens with too much glucose? You get type 3 diabetes. You know what type 3 diabetes is? They're learning it's Alzheimer's. They're learning. Excess glucose is not a good thing. Obviously, that's coming in the form of fructose. And who brought fructose into our life? It wasn't the freaking animals. Huh? Who brought fructose into our lives? Plants. High fructose corn syrup. All that garbage. See, that's even proof right there. It's evil. It truly is. If you think about it, high fructose corn syrup, it comes from plants. You're not going to get like a bunch of sugar from an animal. No. Like that's the problem. I've been talking about this. It's the glucose spikes. And where are these glucose spikes coming from? It's coming from the plants. Sugarcane. Sugar. Sugar's the problem. That's why people are ill. You know? You need the meat. Our body likes to be in ketosis. Our body likes protein. We're made out of protein. Literally, the human body is mainly protein. Well, it's actually mainly microbes. But like protein is everywhere. Protein's in our hair. Protein's in our eyes. Protein is in our skin. Protein is life. You know? Like protein's everything. So The most reliable source of protein and the higher source of protein is from animals. What plant would there's no plant that really rivals animal protein. Like edamame is a great plant. I like it. It is high in protein. But like a lot of these vegan, these vegan bodybuilders and stuff, guess what they supplement on? PEDs. A lot of them do. They all have to take supplements. You shouldn't have to be on a diet where you have to take a bunch of supplements. With keto, you don't have to take a bunch of supplements. You don't have to. Veganism, you kind of do because you're not getting everything. Do you get vitamin B12 from plants? I don't think as B2, B12. I don't know. That's some of the research, but I'm not going to get into that. Thanks for being here. You're helping me out. I'm already exhausted, and this is exhausting me even more. The brain functions very well in ketones. It does. It really does. Dr. Ben Bickman. Oh, yes, him. He's Canadian. He's actually Albertan. He's from up north. There are no essential... There you go. There are no essential carbohydrates, but there are essential fatty acids, and there are essential amino acids. Wait, are there essential fatty acids? Amino acids. Let's just stick with amino acids. Essential proteins. There are essential proteins for sure. Meaning, so basically an essential protein is a protein that your body cannot make. Your body needs to consume from an external source. Literally, our biology, our DNA is literally telling us that we need to eat meat. It is. It's just you can't erase 120 plus, maybe 200,000 years of homogeneous. You know the homogeneous? We're not talking about the Panama or the bonobos. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the homogeneous, which is humanoid, which is Homo erectus. Well, they're all extinct. We're the only ones left. Homo sapiens. And we're the only ones left because we're psychotic. The reason why humans lasted when they went to, well, I'm not sure what happened in Africa, but I know in Europe, our human ancestors there, or our human cousins there, well, I technically have European DNA in me because I'm from the Caribbean. I'm all mixed up. But the Europeans, basically, there's two theories. They either eliminated them, so they murdered them for survival, obviously, or they made it with them. I think they're both true because there's people with Neanderthal DNA in them. But yeah, humans are, and the reason why we were able to do that is because we outsmarted them, because our brain was bigger. The reason why human evolution and why we outran the other homogenuses is because we basically our brains. It's the brain power. It's the brain. So yeah. Oh my God. We're not apes. We're homos. We're homogeneuses. Like, I'm not going to go into that. Like, it's like arguing with a wall. I'm not wasting my time. We can make glucose and ketones. I like to be efficient. Yeah, we can do both. That's what Dr. Mindy Pelz says. Going in and out of, she says, true metabolic strength is going in and out of both systems. Burning ketones for fuel and burning glucose for fuel. Being able to making that switch, that metabolic switch in and out, gives your metabolism power. It keeps your mitochondria, in tip-top shape because it's going to use one system, it's going to use the next. So yeah, I like to be efficient as well. I like that too. Okay, you don't understand science. You definitely don't understand science. Okay. All right. Anyway. Oh, hi. Welcome. Hey, sorry about this. I'm getting talking about, let's get to stuff that really matters to me, like helping people with this stuff. OMAD. Hey, I just subbed after watching a few of your keto OMAD videos. Ooh, keto OMAD, yes. Are you still on? And what are some tips? No, I am not doing keto OMAD right now because I'm exercising like a crazy person. I'm doing keto though. Right now I'm on a keto diet because I'm building muscle, but I want to cut a bit of weight. So what are some of my tips? Electrolytes are your best friend. I highly recommend getting a pack of Element. Make sure it's the unflavored Element. Element has been a lifesaver but you can do it without element. I didn't do it with element. I made my own electrolytes. But my tips is to make sure you're getting in 30 grams of fiber, at least, with vegetables from nuts and stuff as well. You want to make sure you're stuffing your face with tons of vegetables. You want to make sure you're having fish often, mainly fatty fish, salmon, like at least, every other day or every day. You want to make sure you are having your oils. So ghee would be a good thing to buy. I wish I bought ghee. I used a lot of coconut oil and butter. That was my go-to thing. And to make sure with Keto OMAD that you plan your meal. And to, again, make sure you're tracking your calories, because with Keto OMAD, you can eat a little, you might undereat too much. Like you might have days where you do undereat, like here and there, that's fine. But you don't want to chronically undereat, because you want to be able to protect your thyroid and your whole system. It's easy to do that with keto. Trust me, I was doing it. I had a lot of 600, 800 calorie days, but you don't want to do that. My tip to you is to pick a consistent time. Eat your meal at the same time every day. For me, that was 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock p.m. Have a routine. If you are hitting a plateau and you're not exercising, maybe start throwing in some walks. And if you are exercising on Keto OMAD, make sure you're doing it 2 to 3 hours before your meal, or you're doing it within your eating window. And now there's 2 versions of OMAD that you can do. I prefer to do the 20 hours of fasting or more. So between 20 hours and 22 hours. I think a good 2-hour eating window is probably the smallest I would recommend people to go. You can go an hour eating window some days, but I had the most success with a 4 to 3 hour eating window. That was like the most success. And the reason why is that you don't want to get into the habit of like trying to get all this food in a short amount of time. You don't want to shock your system too, because after fasting all day and eating like that, it can really like make you feel like, overwhelmed. One person so beautifully put it, said it can, elevate your blood pressure. And that's what I noticed. Even as a kid, even as a kid, I'm just going to put this to do not disturb. When I wasn't hungry and I would eat, I would like feel a shock. So I think it's important to like break your fast with a small, like little snack, wait 15 minutes at least, and then eat. Make sure you're salting your food with sodium, potassium. Make sure you have some potassium salt. So it's any salt at the grocery store that has potassium at the back. Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt or Andean mountain salt, the Andes mountain salt is a superior salt to the other salts. I like it better. It's just a higher quality salt, but you can use regular table salt. Make sure you're dosing your food with that, because the best way to get in electrolytes is to get it in with food. That's how your body retains it more. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Make sure you're weighing yourself right before you break your fast, and you're not drinking water you're not drinking water and then going on the scale, because that's going to ruin the scale. And yeah, make sure you have your hunger crushing tools, like what do you call it? Sparkling water. I love sparkling water. What else? Things like apple cider vinegar. Again, your electrolytes, some teas. Make sure you're having all of that. But I do have tons of other videos as you were watching, and I hope that helps. Those are things I can think of at the top of my head. And Keto OMAD is very good if you have a lot of weight to lose, or if you're struggling a lot with binge eating like I was. I think it's a great tool to use. And make sure you're doing light exercise. You don't want to do anything too crazy. You want to do exercises that you can easily recover from. So cardio-like weightlifting. You don't want to do anything too strenuous like what I'm doing right now, building muscle on keto. No. Stick around, Kirby. She's moving down the live chat. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I'm getting keto versus low carb. I think they're both good. For me, low carb, I would say 150 grams or less is low carb. But if you really want to lose weight, go 100 grams or less. And make sure 30% of those carbs minimum are from fiber. So that would even put you closer to ketosis anyway, because that's 70. So fiber is key. It's key no matter what you do. If you're doing keto, if you're eating a regular looking diet, you got to stuff your face with vegetables. I think it's key. Vegetables are key because it supports, again, the gut microbiome, which we were learning is regulating a lot. It regulates our glucose levels in our blood. It does a lot. So I think vegetables, learning how to eat vegetables is key. But keto versus low carb, I think they both will work. If you hit a plateau with low carb, go keto. If you hit a plateau with keto, throw in some fasting. Start doing a 16-hour fast and work your way up. But yes. Oh, yeah, keto is low carb. But when people say keto versus low carb, I think they mean 50 grams of carbs or less versus low carb, which I would say is 150 grams or less. 50 grams to 150 grams. Let's say that. Yeah, there is a slight difference because low carb, you can still have things like rice because it will kick you, things that will kick you out of ketosis. There is a difference. Keto is low carb, but there is a difference. Whereas low carb, you're not always in ketosis. You won't be in ketosis with low carbs, but you're still having low carbs and you're giving your body an opportunity to still regulate those blood sugar levels. Low enough carbs to get into ketosis. Yes. I ate 50 grams of carbs and I was in ketosis. That can happen. If you've been doing this for a long time, I think some people have gotten away with eating like 60, 70, 80 grams of carbs and still be in ketosis. So the cutoff I say is 50 grams of carbs. You have to play it out for yourself. But for most people, I would say 50 grams. But yes, if you are really fat adapted, like there's been studies showed where you can literally stray off and have a non-carb meal. A carb meal, a meal that would spike your blood sugar. And then your body would just go right back into ketosis. That's someone who's really, really fat adapted. Like, really. Thank you. I agree. That's what Dr. Mindy Pell says, the metabolic switch. Going in and out of that switch, becoming a glucose burner and a fat burner, a glucose burner and a fat burner. Our body is designed to do that. Feast or famine, Famine is ketosis, quote unquote, famine. You're kind of doing it with diet, but yes. You have to play with it. How many carbs is just enough carbs? For what? For exercise? For weight loss? What do you mean by that? How many carbs is just enough carbs? I think that's an individual question. It really is. You have to see how much is enough for you, meaning that if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to keep your appetite under control, you got to figure out what that number is for you. Me personally, I like ketosis because it just crushes my hunger. It makes life easier. So yeah, how many carbs is just enough carbs? It's an individual question. But if it's for keto, I would say 50 grams or less, unless you're a unicorn and you're so fat adapted that you're still in ketosis above that, if that makes sense. Dr. Eric Westman, Ketology, says less than 20 grams to get into ketosis. Yeah, for sure. But again, I believe the fastest way to get into ketosis is through fasting. But if you want to do it the food way, which is fine, it just takes longer and I'm impatient. Yeah, I think a good number for me when I first did this before I was fasting, I didn't fast when I first did keto, 20 to 30 grams, I would say. Just for errors with how people may miscount things. But 20 to 30, I would say. But yeah, right now I'm eating 30 net. And I feel great. Yep, it truly is because it's easy. Well, I shouldn't say that. If people get the right info, it's easy. It is a joke. If you know what to do. If you know what to do. Because like me being on keto right now, it's easy because I'm retaking the power of my physiology. It's not hacked with the garbage that ruined it, the fructose, all of that. Like, avoid all that stuff. It is easy, but people don't understand. Like, at first it's going to be a challenge because it's a paradigm shift, right? It can be difficult for people. Like, people have other stresses in life. single parents or just other things going on. It's easy, but it's not always, it's simple. I would say it's simple, but it's not always easy. And that's where like the lifestyle changes come into hand. That's where people like me come in. I share it like what I've done to help me out. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm done with the veganism. Funny how I haven't seen this race lover dude on any of your other live streams. Some people only want to stir up trouble. Nothing better to do. Most of us here support you, Daniela. Oh, thank you. I'm not taking offense at all. I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, the only person that can destroy me is myself. I find this entertaining. So it is what it is. Like, I've been through so much in my life. You think someone on the internet's going to really... No. Like, I'm going through so much. No. Like, I'm so damn resilient. It's just funny to me because it doesn't matter. The evidence is there. But I appreciate the love, girl. Thank you. I'm just really tired right now. That's why I'm like, ooh, I haven't been sleeping well because of my life, but it's okay. I'm positive. I'm going to get through it. I'm not toxic positive, but yeah. Oh my God. And you don't understand you didn't study science. You did not study science. But anyway, I was just hey Ryan, I was just talking about how the government wants us to be constantly shoving food in our faces. I know. Do you know what's the worst? When I'm like trying to like diet or something and I see a food ad, I'm like, that's mean. Or when they put it at the gym. What I didn't understand as a kid, why McDonald's was the #1 sponsor for the Olympics. You think these athletes are shoving their faces with McDonald's? I never understood that. I'd always see that, like McDonald's. Fructose, toxicity, yay. Sorry. They constantly bombard us with food ads and food. I don't think it's the government. I think it's the government's probably involved. It's the food companies. Yeah, that pay the government. Yeah, so they're both in tandem. It's a thing. It's both of them, I would say. It's the food industry. Metabolic flexibility is gold. Exactly. And that's what I want people to understand. Because I know so many, like I was this person. I was afraid to have carbs after losing my keto. And I needed to break that fear because I don't want people being like that. Like it's so important to be able to go in and out and have control. But again, we go into low carb and keto and fasting and all these tools to help like heal ourselves, to help reset all that stuff. So yeah. A lot of people do need to fast. Sadly, not a lot of people agree with it. A lot of people don't understand it, but I'm just going to let people like Dr. Mindy Pels and Jason Fung and all of those people who are advocates of fasting, just let the scientific papers come out and let it prove to people. Like my journey, I already know based on my journey, like fasting has helped me out tremendously. Keto has helped me out tremendously, and there's no arguing my results. And the results of a lot of people. And I will always fast no matter what, because I feel like I will constantly need that reset. Now, when I say always, I mean go in and out of fast. Like Dr. Mindy Pels says doing a 3-day fast twice a year is good enough. I'll go through fasting periods, but when I go through like eating normally or eating like a carb diet, I will eventually go into a fast because my body's going to need it just to reset itself. So I will always use fasting as a tool to reset myself no matter what. That's what I'm learning. I don't have to go intense with OMAD every single day. OMAD was just a tool to help me like correct whatever the heck was going on with me. But now I'm eating throughout the day with keto, which is what I wanted to do. I'm grateful for OMAD because it did a lot for me and it helped reset me. And I think it can help a lot of people who are struggling with losing weight. Combining it with keto is just magic. But again, OMAD is not sustainable for the long term. Some people will disagree with that. But again, I believe in metabolic flexibility. I believe in going in and out of fasting and things. I don't believe in doing one diet, getting stuck with OMAD forever, getting stuck with keto forever. Again, unless you're like the rare 1% few that need to. There's a lot of people out there who do keto and they always fall off keto by binging on carbs. So It is what it is. If you really had an issue, medically speaking wise, eating carbs would literally make you sick. Like someone like Michaela Peterson, if she went and ate a carb, she would be sick for months. So like that kind of rare person. But a lot of these keto influencers out there, a lot of them binge and stuff on carbs. But yeah, it is. I think low blood sugar is the key to all of this, actually. It's the low blood sugar, which fasting does and keto does too. I really think it's the low blood sugar. It's keeping that blood sugar down because when you have those spikes, it really does stresses out our mitochondria. And our mitochondria literally it's everything with energy and just health, mental health, gut health, and the whole thing. So I really that's what it's tying it all together. We're learning more and more. Like it's really cool. It's so cool to learn about this stuff because I want to help people. Like I was seeing people in the fat positive community. A lot of those people now are trying to lose weight and they're going to get the typical like, oh my God, cut your calories thing. Do you know how hard it's going to be for some of these fat positive people who are pushing 3, 4, 5, 600 pounds to just cut their calories? Think about how their hormones are off. Think about the obesogens in their body, like messing up their hunger cues. And then they give up. And that's why a lot of people say calories don't work. So it's about finding a way. Like I like the glucose goddess's way because her way is more appealing to more people. Not a lot of people want to cut out their carbs. Not a lot of people want to, people at the end of the day, people, if they want to get something done, they want to do it the easiest way possible. Not a lot of people think like me and you. Not a lot of people think in a way of like, hey, I need to do, maybe I need to fast for a bit or do an OMAD or cut my carbs out. Not a lot of people will do that. So I like the glucose goddess's way of learning how to just food order your food, like learning how to do hacks to lower that blood sugar, the apple cider vinegar, not eating your carbs naked, blanking it with fiber, eating vegetables, maybe putting cheese on the vegetables. If you're going to have dessert, have it with protein. There's so many like high protein desserts out there, which are so good. So good. Yeah. Oh, hey, welcome. Thanks. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you. Yeah, this live was a hard one because I'm tired, but I'm like, oh, wow, I'm an hour and 17 minutes in. I'm going to go to sleep. My chiropractor wants me, he's so funny. He wants me to go into an ice bath to help me sleep. He's like, it'll be good. And I'm like, oh, now I have to go to Sobeys. Where do I live? Not Sobeys. Safeway. You guys don't know. Oh, yeah, you guys do know Safeway. Safeway's in the States. And go get an ice pack. Because, like, when you sleep, it's better to be a little cool. Maybe I will, because I've been having really bad insomnia lately. Well, I did have a pretty major mental health episode a couple weeks ago. But I'm getting over that. That's because I was getting outside pressure. You guys will learn about it one day. It's not easy when you're in a situation where someone's beating you down when all you want to do is rise up and they criticize everything you do to make yourself better, criticize you going to the gym, trying to make it difficult for you to go to your appointments. Like that's really hard because I'm already fighting an uphill battle with me just trying to get healthy. It's not easy, going to the gym when my freaking knee hurts. But I show up because I know after the gym I'll feel better. It's not easy, going to all these appointments and being in this situation. But I do it anyway. Like I know I have to do it. It's not a pity me story or anything. It's a story to show like this is my cross to bear. I'm getting over it. You're going to do the same thing no matter how hard it gets. You're going to do the same thing. That's all it is. That's why I share. I don't like talking about my problems. I share it to inspire people. Really do. Yeah, because it makes you vulnerable. But anyway, vulnerability is strength. But yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was talking about. Wait, sorry, I gotta look at the chat here. Ooh. Sorry, Ryan, I missed some things. You see, I'm struggling. I'm really tired. Hang on. Fasting is the key to all of this. Okay, there you go, Ryan. We are so used to eating to fill the void in our miserable lives. It's like a drug. It is. But the beautiful thing is that we can create beauty in our life, We got to find our passion. For me, my passion is fitness. My love of fitness. Like, it would be cool if I became a Zumba instructor. I was thinking about that. Well, I was thinking of becoming. I actually might become a personal trainer. We'll see. Something I've been thinking about for a while, and I had a discussion today about it, about doing it in IRL. I would do it in IRL. I'm speaking like my son in real life, or I did both and in person and online too. But I'm really like fitness literally saved my life. Like it, I'm not lying. It saved my life. It is my cure to my anxiety. It's everything to me. It makes me feel like good. And I just want to be surrounded by people who are just as excited about fitness like me. And not only that, my passion is also to help people lose weight and get healthy. Like I see how society is going, and as humans, we can do better. Our ancestors have gone through so much. I'm talking about everyone's ancestors here, the human race's ancestors. We nearly were extinct, you know? So we made it this far. We're not going to destroy ourselves. We're going to thrive, and everyone's going to be, you know, we're going to get through this together. That's like my mentality. It's hard. And a lot of people are turning to a lot of things. I'm seeing a lot of things going on. The drug epidemic is out of control. It's pretty sad. A lot of millennials, a lot of like able-bodied working people just gone. And if I can just like be that hope for someone to just not go down that route, because I could have easily went down that route, easily, but I know with my trauma, no, I'm not going to even do any of that. A doctor nearly put me down that route. God tricked me into taking an opiate. I didn't know. She literally said, I was talking to a girl about, yeah, I met another girl at the gym, and she was telling me how her knee, how women are very weak on the inside and like strong on the outside, and it causes her knee is maltracking as well as mine. And I when she told me that, I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one at the gym with pain. I should really like, I am starting to talk to people more at the gym. And when she told me that, I was like, wow. And she was saying how like, do not let the doctors like, don't like, if you have to take Advil and Tylenol, take it. Don't power through it. But she's like, do not even touch any of those other medications because they don't do anything. And I basically had a doctor, I don't know, she's like, oh, I can give you something with Tylenol that will make Tylenol stronger. I'm like, okay. And then I realized it was, you know, one of those. And then I met a girl at the park where it happened to her friend. He's gone now, sadly. He broke his foot in a hiking accident, and he got, you know, controlled substances. He got addicted to it, and he's gone. So it's like we have the power to make the choices in our lives, and I know that, and I see it with other people. I'm like, I'm not going down that route. Not at all. I will handle this pain with all my ice baths and my fasting and my exercising and all that. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, hang on. AM1 says, right? Literally overdosing on food is, I know. Oh my God, it's so true. It's so sad because I was there. I still get in and out of there sometimes. That's why I throw in a fast to like knock myself out of it. And they were talking about this today. Dr. Mindy Pels was saying that, and I noticed this, when you're at a point where you're eating all these foods, like you're ordering Uber Eats every day and you're ordering all this stuff, the food is not, it doesn't satisfy you anymore. And the taste isn't the same. Your taste buds are all messed up. And it just becomes literally a drug, just stuffing your face to get a feeling, and you got to eat more and more of it to get that feeling of satisfactory. It's crazy. It's crazy. They, of course. That's how it works, Ryan. Of course, they make money off our bad health. Of course. Oh yes, I've read this one. Thanks, girl. When I'm in ketosis, I feel mentally and emotionally fantastic. I agree. I'm back on ketosis. My mental health episode happened when I was not in ketosis, but every time I'm in ketosis, I feel mentally good. I'm just tired right now. What gives me an extra kick is when I get good amounts of protein and fats. I agree. Yeah, it really does. It's amazing. I do love keto. I just feel on top of the world, and I'm so glad you can relate to that. I'm so glad you can relate. Oh, and my insomnia has nothing to do with keto, guys. It's my concussion. I have injuries, but it's definitely making my life easier. But again, things have changed a lot. I just broke my 8th week meal. Oh yeah, Mealless Monday today. Congratulations. Congratulations. Look at you. You're doing some serious healing and serious and not only that, the mental attributes you get with this. Like you get so many benefits. You get that discipline, delayed gratification, and it translates to when you get off this mealless Mondays, It's awesome. Same here. It's beautiful. I agree. Oops. Low blood sugar is key. Yes. I learned this year. Me too. my after workout fasted glucose was 68. Ooh, good for you. And you didn't get hungry? And there was extreme alert. That's good. What happens to me, well, you did it fasted. You did it fasted. I need to do that. For me, I had a keto meal before my workout. It was like eggs and vegetables. And then after my meal, it went low. I got a low glucose alert as well. Went high and I got hungry. That happened to me. But I went to the sauna. So I'm wondering if the sauna has anything to do with it. It only happens with the sauna. So it must be a sauna thing. But that's really good. Good for you. Good for you. Keto is so good. Low blood sugar. Yeah, I read that. Sorry. And my workout consists of walking uphill power walking program. Yes, you're doing that perfectly. Way to go. That's the kind of workouts you want to do on keto OMAD. Because you can recover from that easily. Like you can easily recover from that. That is a perfect workout. I'm thinking of getting a CGM just for, yes, you should. Please do. For research and self-experimentation. Please do. Please do. You will be so oh my gosh. Please do. I have one recommended in one of my Amazon storefront from the States, but I like to use Freestyle Libre. That's so good. That's awesome. But if we can take charge of our health, the government can't make money off our bad health. You're awesome, Ryan. Yes. And not only that, it empowers us. It literally empowers us. I don't know if it's a complex thing. Hey, welcome to the live stream. How much do you weigh right now? Right now, my weight is staying between me and my coach because I don't know what's happening right now. I'm building muscle. So we are going to reveal that when the time comes. You get progress pictures for now. Yeah, Danielle, you should become a CP. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you are? That's awesome. I was talking about that today, if I should study NASM or NASM versus the Canadian version. And then there's ACE, but that's through school. I remember a few of the personal trainers that I was talking to in the States, in the southern states. Misty's in Texas and Kirsten is in North Carolina. ACE is very popular down there. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out, I kind of had a conversation about that, which one to do. But I could do NASM, but I think it would make sense to do the Canadian one. Fitness saved my life too. Aw, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. It broke my heart and I cried for several days until I just jumping to Christian music and then my depression was cured. Good for you. Good for you. It's tough. It's tough out there and I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you're still there. I don't live in America. We don't have food stamps here. Are you collecting? I live in Canada and I've already explained how I'm making my income. I got into a car accident. I have a good insurance company. That's what happens when you have a job. And that insurance company is supplementing you can get your income supplemented up to 5 years, but not here in Alberta. It's 2 years. So that's how I'm doing. And right now I'm transitioning into the workforce or doing this full time. So no, we don't have food stamps here in Canada. We don't have that. No, just toxins. The sauna makes me feel good. You sweat things out and it just makes you feel good and it's good for your mitochondria. And it helps. The main reason why I go in the sauna is for my muscles. All right. I think this is a good time to end the live stream. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's live stream. I dealt with the trolls pretty well. I got a vegan troll and a food stamp troll, but it's all good. I was like, no, no, no. I already explained. And it's not really none of anyone's business of how I'm open, so I don't care. I'm living off of my insurance, but that doesn't bother me. But anyway, I need to go sleep and take care of my health. Uh, anyway, I'm sending you guys mad love. Take care. Bye.